examples or incidences of where the FBI have identified acts of Antifa violence or people subscribing to Antifa in recent months or years? And how successful has the Justice Department been in prosecuting members of the Antifa extremist violent groups?
Yeah, I'll start with just highlighting that, Antifa definitely is a real thing, and it actually falls into our anti-government, anti-authority overarching bucket, and specifically anarchist violent extremists. We definitely have cases on individuals who self-identify with Antifa. Thinking back on my last year as the AD of CTD, I can only think of one individual in particular who would have self-identified with Antifa, who then went on to conduct a violent act, and that would be the individual in Portland, Mr. Reinhall, when he shot Aaron Danielson.
Mr. Wigman, anything to add?
Yeah, there have been cases that we brought against, as Ms. Sambor mentioned, in the category of anarchist extremist, which is what Antifa falls into that bucket. Whether we have any individual case where the person self-identified as Antifa, I'm not sure. We do have some cases against anarchists. We have the case that Ms. Sambor mentioned where the individual was killed before he was able to be apprehended, where that person, I think, did self-identify as Antifa. And then obviously the absence of an indication on the charging document whether someone self-identifies with Antifa is not necessarily an indication that there aren't any cases, because that's true in a lot of our cases. You don't necessarily have a specific group or ideology that someone's identified with. You think that they've been associated with a riot or other behavior, but you just may not have that based on the charges, or it may not be necessary for the case. So I'm sorry, it's a little bit complicated to your question, but we're not necessarily going to know, because the people may not always announce themselves as to what group they're affiliated with and so forth. But we do have a number of cases that we would put in the anarchist bucket. That is the same bucket that Antifa and people associated with the Antifa movement would fall into.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.